Hey, it's me, Kati. Today, I want to give you the complete tour of Northbrook, Illinois. Before we begin, I just want to make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot of great information, not just about Northbrook, but all of the North Shore communities in the Chicagoland area. So please make sure you go and like and subscribe. I promise you won't regret it. Okay, so let's talk about Northbrook, Illinois. Northbrook is a community about 20 miles north of Chicago. It is considered to be in Chicago's North Shore. And one of the great things about Northbrook that everybody really does love is its location in proximity to being able to get down to the city, down to the south suburbs, in addition up to Wisconsin. So the way that Northbrook is positioned, you have access points to get on and off the expressways and the tollways to get downtown quick when there's no construction. That's one of the things that makes Northbrook really, really great, is that local proximity to every place that you want to be. Now, some people might challenge me and say that Northbrook is not actually Chicago's North Shore because it is not actually on the lake. However, we are going to say that it is part of Chicago's North Shore. One of the things that people come to Northbrook for are the schools. Yes, the schools in Northbrook are great. Now, of course, all the schools on the North Shore are really, really good, but the schools in Northbrook are good. So you cannot go wrong if you choose a school inside of Northbrook. It just won't happen. So the schools are made up into 4 different districts that feed into Glenbrook North. Now, there are a couple of surrounding districts that do feed into other schools, but I'm talking to you about the 4 school districts that feed into Glenbrook North. Glenbrook North is part of District 225, which also Glenbrook South is. Glenbrook South is considered Glenview. So if you want to be in Glenbrook North, you really are looking in Northbrook in District 225. So the 4 districts in Northbrook are District 28, District 27, District 30, and District 31. I've got a lot of videos about these specific school districts, but the thing is that's how we sort of look for homes in this area. Most people kind of start their searches with the districts. So all the schools are great in Northbrook. You have 4 junior high schools. You have Northbrook Junior High, Maple Junior High, Wood Oaks Junior High, and Field School. Field, which used to be called Stanley Field when I grew up, but it's now just Field. And the reason I know so much about the schools is that I grew up in Northbrook. I've lived here my whole life. I am a product of Glenbrook North and the public schools. My children went to both public and private schools in Northbrook, so I know the whole system really, really well. And like I said, what I'll tell you is you cannot go wrong in Northbrook with the schools. If you are looking for a private education, there is St. Norbert's in downtown Northbrook. That is the Catholic school, and it is a pre-K through 8th grade. Okay, so the high school is Glenbrook North. Glenbrook North has about 1,500 students. It's a student-teacher ratio of about 14:1. The graduation rate is 95%, and the average SAT score is 1,300. The average ACT score is 28. They have a ton of advanced placement courses, a ton of extracurricular activities, and their college acceptance rate is 97%. So I am a graduate of Glenbrook North. My children went to Glenbrook North School as well. It's a great school. I will tell you, it is competitive, and you are keeping up with the Joneses when you are at Glenbrook North. Can be a little tough that way. However, there typically is a place for every student. Every student will typically find their own location in the school. So it's a great high school and really well known nationally as well. There are some other private schools around, but these are basically the main schools that everybody in Northbrook is going to. So let's talk about the style of home that you're going to get in Northbrook. Basically, growing up, you were going to get a split, a ranch, or a colonial. Those are the basic styles of homes in Northbrook. A lot of them were built in the 60s and the 70s. We've got some more in the 80s, and then we do have some newer construction, which would be the 90s and on. A lot of homes on smaller lots have been torn down so that people can build new construction homes. So in Northbrook, there is a 40% floor area ratio. And what that means is you can only build on 40% of the square footage of the lot, and that includes the garage. So the issue is that if you're looking to build and you find a smaller lot, you can only build 40% of that. Certainly you can reach out to me or talk to a builder. We know these details inside and out. So with these homes, the price point definitely has gone up over the past few years. It is a little difficult to get into Northbrook under about $450 or so. If you're looking at that price point, you're looking at probably a really small 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, maybe a one bath bathroom house with 1-car garage. So there's not a lot of opportunities for single family, really under $500,000 in Northbrook. Now it can be done, but there are going to be some restrictions with it that you may or may not like. Maybe you're further away from downtown, or maybe you don't have a basement, or maybe you are on a busier road. So it's important that if you're looking in that under 500 price point, that you talk to the agent who you're working with to make sure that they're looking at everything, even the pocket listings, which are not listed in the public market. So typically, if you're looking somewhere in the range of about 600 to about $1 million, you are probably going to get a colonial. And a colonial would be 4 bedrooms upstairs, maybe 2.5 baths with a basement. Now, what people start when they're coming from the city and they start looking, they think, oh, for $750,000, I want a wonderful open layout, a great big yard, a basement, and a great location. Typically, what I tell people who are coming out to the suburbs from the city is you're going to get disappointed. And the reason why is because Northbrook doesn't build the types of homes that young buyers are really looking for. So the first thing is going to be some culture shock when somebody is coming out from the city and they think they've got the vision of what they're looking for, and they realize that there are literally no homes that are actually built like they're looking for. So what has to happen is after the first couple of times these people come out to Northbrook, then their mindset shifts a little bit, and then they recognize the types of homes that they can get in Northbrook. And I will tell you, we have many, many people in Northbrook who love their homes and their style, and it might not have been exactly what they thought of when they came out to look. So when you get those colonials, they may be open, they may not be open. A lot of people end up doing works, and a lot of people do a gut job. Anything over $1 million in Northbrook, you can get a variety of homes. We do have homes that were built in the 80s and the 90s, and those homes are bigger, but typically they're going to need a complete gut job. Those are really not near downtown Northbrook either. So the further you go away from downtown Northbrook, maybe the bigger parcel of land you're going to get and the bigger house that you're going to get. So you need to think about that. Also, if you're looking for new construction at anything under 1.5 in Northbrook, it's going to be pretty tough, especially in this market. If you're looking for new construction, you want to make sure you're connecting with an agent about what exactly the lots are available and who the builders are that can help you build a home for that price point. It can be done, and there is some new construction that goes on under $1.5 million, but you might be a little disappointed in the size of those lots. Those lots are probably going to be a little smaller than what you're thinking that you're going to get for $1.5 million. If your price point is over $1.5 million in Northbrook, you have quite a few options that might give you what you're looking for. Northbrook's price point really doesn't go much above $2.5 million. There are not a ton of homes that sell over $2.5 million because we just don't have the land and the space. If you're looking at a price point of $2 to $3 million, you're probably looking in East Northbrook. And those homes are big. They've got big lots, big properties, but some of those homes are dated. So you might be finding a $2 million home that needs a complete gut. Now, one of the things about Northbrook is that we are more affordable than our eastern neighbors. And those are the homes that are directly on the lakefront. So when people come into Northbrook, especially into East Northbrook, and they see it, they're seeing more value. We also in Northbrook have a lot of attached garages. And if you go into Winnetka or Wilmette or Glencoe, you're going to find a lot of homes that do not have attached garages. In Northbrook, almost all of the homes have attached garages. So that's just something, if that's important to you, Northbrook is the place to be for that. Some of the things we have going on in Northbrook, not as much as you might have actually on the lake, but we do have a couple of great features in Northbrook. Technique Parks and Prairies is a wonderful, wonderful place to go. It's actually something that's newer compared to where I grew up. We did not have it. It was actually Annisberger's field back then, and it was basically a farm. And so now what it is a complete recreational development. There is a walking trail, there's a golf course, there's a fishing pond, there's batting cages, a skate park, softball fields, a sledding hill. In addition, they just put in the Technique Parks Activity Center, TPAC, which I actually work out at. Great place to go, not super crowded as well. I live very, very close to Technique, and I find it to be one of the most significant things that Northbrook has. It's kind of a hidden gem because I would say it is newer from the 90s. So not a lot of people who lived here a long time really understand the full effect of it, but I do love walking around the basin, being over there when the sun is setting. It's just a wonderful place to go. So while the Botanic Gardens aren't in Northbrook, it is literally right next door. So that is something really great that you can go. It's an activity to go and walk around the Botanic Gardens. It's a beautiful place to be. Beautiful, beautiful. I love the Botanic Gardens. So we do have some restaurants in Northbrook. I will tell you, one of the things about Northbrook that some people are not super happy about is the downtown. Now, it has gotten a little bit better, but the way that Northbrook is situated, it does make it a little difficult for a centralized downtown, and that's because we have Shermer Road that cuts all the way from Dundee, and it cuts all the way around, and it goes up to Willow. And so that kind of creates this divide that has about 13,000 cars a day on it. And that divide sides, the Village Green Park, and then the stores. So there's not a great amount of parking there. The Metro train station is there as well, which is good. It just is not planned the way that you would hope that it would be planned for downtown. Now, with that being said, the Village Green is a central location in Northbrook. There are ice cream stores, there's music in the park, there's places to walk around to. There are some restaurants in this area. My personal favorite being Olivery's. Olivery's is locally owned. Fabulous owners who take care of it and they recognize you when you walk in the door. That's right next to the train station. Some of the other restaurants that are there are House 406, Francesca's, Landmark, which is a casual bar type restaurant. They do get a lot of the young people at nights and on the weekends. And you have Malnati's, you got Kamahachi, and these are all right there as well. You have Little Louie's, which has been a staple in Northbrook since I was a kid. You have Baskin Robbins, you have Grater's, you have Sarpino's. And those are just in downtown Northbrook. Northbrook does have a lot of other restaurants in the surrounding area as well that we love to go to, but those are the ones just in downtown Northbrook. One of the famous things about Northbrook is the water tower. Yes, the Save Ferris water tower was painted when I was in high school, Save Ferris up top, and that is actually from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, John Hughes movie, who did go to Glenbrook North. So that's kind of our claim to fame. One great thing about Northbrook is the train station. The commute into the city is actually pretty quick. If you're on an express train, it's about 25 minutes. It does go into Union Station. If you are on a regular train, you're usually about 40 minutes. Now, the train station is getting more and more crowded since after COVID. However, if you are a non-resident, if you get there early enough, I do believe there are a few spaces there that you can park in. You do have to be a resident to park in most of the spots there, and you will get a ticket if you are not. You do have to pay to park a minimal amount every day, but it's a great location, and it is centrally located in downtown Northbrook. So I hope that I've been able to share enough with you about Northbrook to give you just a little taste and a complete tour of Northbrook, what it's like. I'm an expert, I know it really, really well. I'd love for you to reach out if you're thinking about moving to Northbrook or you want to know more about the community. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, especially if you found this content interesting, and if you're here until the end, you probably have found it somewhat interesting. Go ahead, reach out. My phone number's down there. You can just shoot me a text and we can talk about real estate anytime. I want to be your real estate consultant for life. Remember, like and subscribe, and as I always say, if you know, you know.